Hey everybody, it's Joey. So a couple days ago, I got to watch the new Tai West film, MaxXine, starring Mia Goth as Maxine Minx, who we last saw in X a couple of years ago. Obviously, we got the prequel Pearl in between X and now MaxXine, which I absolutely loved, and I think that might be the standout in the trilogy for me, but I think Tai West does a really good job of bringing us to different eras of horror and filmmaking in this trilogy that he so beautifully put together with Mia Goth as the lead. So MaxXine, just a little background, is set around Maxine Minx, who I just mentioned, played by Mia Goth, the fantastic Mia Goth, who really brings a lot of raw intensity to this role, a lot of really gutsy energy to the character of Maxine Minx. When we saw her last in X, she was still kind of a budding actress, aspirational actress that got into kind of adult films, and we follow her all the way to the 80s here, which very LA 80s, very kind of gritty, and Hollywood Hills, a lot of cocaine and a lot of drugs and stuff like that. It's you feel very much thrown into a Hollywood 80s kind of set piece when you start the film. So Maxine is really trying to get her name in horror films. She has a friend that runs a video store who, seems to be her confidant and her companion, pushing her towards her goal. But Maxine is self-driven. She has really nothing holding her down. She's working, at a strip club. She has friends. Halsey is one of the stripper friends that she has that we see for a little bit. But this film is full of a crazy cast of characters. Everybody's very colorful, very visceral. Kevin Bacon, I have to say, kind of stole the show for me a little bit. I'm usually pretty lukewarm on a Kevin Bacon performance, but he was killing me in this. I really loved his performance in this. It was funny, it was grimy, it was gross, but he kept me kind of cracking up, and I liked the dynamic he had with Maxine. It was just so odd, and I thought it was pretty funny. I also love Elizabeth Debicki as the director of the horror film that Maxine is auditioning for. That audition scene, there's an audition scene in the beginning of the film that is really, really nice, and it really shows you who Maxine is, or it reminds you, if you had not seen X in a while, shows you how driven and compelling the character is, especially under Mia Goth behind the eyes. Maxine just comes to life, and you believe this character is going to do whatever it takes to get what she deserves. And there's a quote that permeates the entire film: I will not accept the life I do not deserve, which is definitely her mantra, and she goes for it. So without getting into too much spoiler territory, I really enjoyed the film. I thought it moved very quickly. I didn't find a moment where I was kind of bored or thought things were a little too sticky, wasn't moving the plot forward. I thought we had a lot of quick moments, a lot of really hammering home kind of the themes and ideals that this film and trilogy has been trying to express. What will you do to get to the place you want to be, to get stardom? Who are you going to push along the way? Who are you going to protect? A lot of these kind of elements really brought the force of this film to life. And again, Mia Goth, I'm going to keep going back to Mia Goth because I think she was fantastic in this, and she really brought this all together in a way that felt a little different from the other films. And even from X, the character felt way more evolved in this, still driven by the same kind of energy, anger, and ferocity that she was in X, but it's just renewed, and she's singularly focused, but finds power in being really one with the city of Los Angeles in a way, without giving away too much. But this film does a great job at capturing the somebody's rise to stardom, difficult things they may have to go through, all, of course, over stylized, and especially in the 80s, and there's a lot of drugs and crime and serial murders and all this kind of crazy trope-ish kind of stuff going on, wrapped in music and lights. And Tai West does a great job of creating this world within a world we kind of already know, but it's a little different, definitely more stylized. And I think he does a great job. So I'm really happy with Maxine. If you have not seen it, did a little bit of spoiler stuff here, but I didn't give too much away. I think it does a really good job of closing out this trilogy thematically and personally. If they decide to do more with Maxine, I'll be happy. I'll be the first one there, seeing it day one. But as a trilogy, as thematically connected as this rise to stardom, what are you going to do to get to where you want to be? I think this does a really good job at kind of closing this 3-part chapter of the Maxine X Pearl trilogy. And I'm excited to see what Tai West does next, if he does more in this world. But let me know what you guys think. Are you going to see it? Did you see it? What did you think? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. We'd be happy to have you, and see you in the next one. See you later.